Hello, everyone. We meet again. Um, this time around, I'm actually going to talk about a qualification that sports administrators, or rather, in this case, football administrators, football managers, football top level people involved in football, may it be the president, the general secretary, a club president, or a club secretary, even people who are passionate about football or sports and who want to manage, to sit in the chair to manage football. If you look at before the pandemic, there was a report by KPMG which stated that in 2019, the sports business revenue for North America, why I quote you North America is sports business is one of the best in North America, Canada, United States. Of course, in Asia, you can't beat the likes of Japan, Korea, and so on. So North America, the revenue was as big as 79 billion US dollars. 79 billion US dollars. Would you imagine 79 billion US dollars is actually the GDP of small countries like Maldives, Sri Lanka, Mauritius, and so on. So, sports business is huge, very huge. The thing is that Asians, Southeast Asians, Malaysians have not gripped the notion of sports being a business. It is very, very slowly picking up. Malaysians, I'm moving towards the football Pandora, the football issue, and I'm going to specifically touch on it, because why I'm going to touch on it is the whole talk today is about a course in University Malaya called the Professional Certificate in Football Business Management. And we also have a second course, a Professional Certificate in Sports Business Management. This is for generic sports, all sports. But Football Business Management is very specifically for football, very specific, Like I said, Malaysians are still looking at football or sports very much from the entertainment, from the pastime point of view, even maybe from the health view. Nothing wrong with that. But don't you know that there is a big opportunity out there in sports business or football business? Many of our clubs, you would have read in the newspapers, you have heard news, and it is happening. Many of the clubs depend on the state government. That is the reason why many of our football clubs, football associations have chief ministers, the Menteri Besars, as presidents, so that they can actually set aside some money from the state government. What if one fine day a president or the Menteri Besar who comes in is not a sportsman, who says, no, why should I give football? Because there are so many other sports. And if you look at Malaysia, we are world champions at badminton, squash. Why don't I enhance those sports? Why should I give it to football? Of course, football is the #1 played game. So we ask that question. It is something which is unsure. So here, this professional certificate of football business management and sports business management by University Malaya Center for Education is out to do this course, and we want to tackle this current issue. What more to say now, with a lot of companies closing down, sizing down, it is even more difficult for companies to sponsor. So a lot of sports organizations are going to face the problem of sponsorships. A lot of government funding has been cut and put towards COVID recovery. So spending on sports and so on will be small, or rather what we should, the government would start looking at feeding the people, helping them regain their jobs instead of putting the money into sports, like paying salaries of players and so on. Yeah, prioritize. Okay. Now, we must learn to understand that football, I'm going to specifics here, football is a business. It has to be a business. Say what you want, look at it from whatever perspective you want to. Football is business. Okay? It is a brand image. Yeah? It is a brand image. Cristiano Ronaldo is a brand image. Messi is a brand image. Neymar is a brand image. Yeah? Once upon a time, when Japanese football started professional in 1993, they brought in players like Gary Lineker, Zico, Dunga to Japan. They were the brand image. They used these players to uplift Japanese football to where it is today. Malaysia needs to do that. And we are here to facilitate. We are here to educate our next generation of football administrators and sports administrators to look at football and look at sports from the business perspective. Yeah. So we know for sure there are a lot of passionate people out there who love football. Yeah. Just football lovers. Now, we want to change that passion of football into something. We want to change that into some entrepreneurial and skill-based. We want to change that because you need passion. You need the love of that game before you can get to run it. So if you come with the passion, you are coming equipped with the desire to lead. All we got to do is educate you, put you in the right path, and let you go. Yeah. Now, not all of them who come to our course, normally they ask us, can I get a job in a club? We cannot promise you that you will get a job in a club. The club must have, it is like doing medicine. It is like being a lawyer. You cannot say, would a company employ me? Yeah, if there's a vacancy, they would employ you because you would definitely stand out compared to any other student or any other candidate who goes out for an interview. We can rest assured that. But we are even going one step further. Not only would you get a job, we would also assure you that you will have entrepreneurial skills whereby you can start a football club on its own, on your own. We would give you the skills, we would train you up in such a way that you would know what you have to do. from scratch, how would you register a club and how would you go on? That is the easiest part. Registering a football club is very easy. All you got to do is go to the Pasarujaya Sukan's office, get the forms and necessary whatnot, and fill it up. But the biggest challenge would be for you to sustain it. That's where the business components come, and that is where we help you. Yeah, because you need money to run. You need staff to manage. You need to pay salaries. Yes, for some time people would come on voluntary basis, but how long are they going to work on a voluntary basis? If you are doing just amateur football, it's fine, but one fine day, if you want to play in M4, M3, the league, yeah, and eventually go to Premier League and then Super League, I can guarantee you will not be able to do it part-time. You got to have full-time staff, because club licensing comes on board. When you have club licensing, you should have a full-time coach, full-time youth development officer, you got to have a legal officer, you got to have a medical officer. All these are full-time people, and how are you going to pay them? So this is the business. Okay, so that is the idea of this program in University Malaya. Yeah, we have been in existence since 2016. Our students have all done well so far. Okay, and we are going. There was a little bit of glitch when the pandemic started, and as it is easing off, we are picking up on our program again. Yeah. So the next intake would be somewhere January 2022. Now, we would be having 6 modules. It is a 6 months program, part-time. Classes are conducted on weekends, 1 weekend per month, selected weekend. So we will give you the schedule for 6 months. You got to plot on into your calendar and make sure that you're ready. Yeah, class attendance is very vital, because you got to attend, because every weekend we do 1 module, that Saturday and Sunday. If you miss it, then you're going to miss a lot, and missing it is going to backfire, because module assignments are given later, the exams are based on that, so you got to attend. Yeah. Now, what are the modules? Generally, we are going to talk about business management concepts, football business management concepts. For the generic program, we are going to talk about sports business management concepts. Yeah, and the core modules. Yeah, let me give you the core modules. The first module is football governance, and for the other program is going to be sports governance. The modules are all same. The only thing is that when we talk about football, we are going to be very specific on football, and general sports, generic sports is going to be generally on other sports. So football governance, we talk about statutes of FIFA, statutes of your respective country, because our students are varied from Nigeria to Ghana to Cambodia, from Indonesia, Philippines, Malaysia mostly. So we talk about the FIFA statutes. The FIFA statutes actually gives leeway. That means gives you some room for change based on certain rules, certain laws. For example, the age for them to be considered a senior to sign a contract varies from country to country. Yeah, so FIFA says it is based on the law of the land. That means in Malaysia, it could be at the age of 18, the player will be able to sign a contract, whereas in UK, a player could be 16. He can sign a contract. So it's the law of the land. So we go through the FIFA statutes. We go through everyone who comes from a different country got to know their statute or got to download the statute so that we can have a discussion. Most of our classes, all our classes from now after the pandemic is online. So we are not going to do face-to-face. So students from outside Malaysia would be also be able to participate and exchange ideas with our students here. And the mode of language is English mainly. Of course, we are also using Bahasa Malaysia. If our students are mostly all Malaysians, we use Bahasa as part of our mode of delivery. But if the students are made up of mixed number from different countries, then English is going to be the main language. Anyway, most of the statutes of FIFA are all in English, so you got to be well conversant in English. Yeah. So that is the first one, governance. We are going to talk about the ethics committee, the makeup of FIFA, the makeup of FA Malaysia, the makeup of AFC. If you're coming from Nigeria, what is the African Confederation, CAF? Yeah, and as such. Then the second module is going to be the football business ecosystem. This is a very huge topic. Yeah, we are going to look at the ecosystem is huge. So we are going to look at it. Yeah, and the third one is communication in football. Now, a lot of things can go wrong in football because wrong communication. I'll give you the examples when the time comes during the course. Yeah, but it is vital that we communicate, and it is part and parcel of our daily lives. Yeah, so communicating is very important. The next module will be the football marketing part. The football marketing actually covers branding, brand image, image rights, TV rights, fans. A very crucial part of our marketing module is fans, fan base, fan engagement, sponsorship, partnership, and so on will be covered in football marketing. Then we have the fifth module, which is event, facility, and project management. As football managers, as football administrators, as football entrepreneurs, as sports entrepreneurs, it is very, very, very important that you guys out there know how to organize an event. It is easier said than done. Try it, you will know. Yeah, one glitch, the whole thing collapses. So there is no room for glitch. Yeah, so you got to make sure that the event goes right. The other thing is facility management. Facility actually gives you money. Sad to say, except for JDT, many of our other professional clubs do not have their own facility. Some of them do, yeah, but one of the best is JDT, but many other top clubs are still playing on rented club pitches. Yeah, so apart from having their own pitch, own stadium, own training ground, it could be also a money-making gimmick if you have the facilities. Because every time you play an away game, you can rent out your stadium or your field to others, because there are so many of them who want good pitches to play, but we can't find, because of course the government is converting most of the fields they have into shopping complexes and so on, because this is more of a different value they are looking at. But clubs, it is upon the clubs, it's their responsibility to make sure that they create this. A lot of clubs do not have clubhouses. You would see an interview I did with Steve Darby when he said that Perak team was changing, using the public field and changing outside changing in the car and have a hose to bathe after the training. This is not a professional club. So we need that. So we talk about facility management. And the next one there in that first category is project management. Project management is how you start a project, how you go through, and how you manage a project. It can be any project. It can be a symposium. It can be a membership drive. But it's a project. Yeah. So we guide you through. And the last one is development in football. Many of you who saw my poster earlier asked me, would this course be equivalent to a coaching license? Now, you got to get this straight. The coaching licenses, the DCBA and the professional diploma, it can be only done by the FA of Malaysia. The state FAs with the approval of FA Malaysia. Nobody else can do it. Yeah, you can do it outside in any part of the world, and then you got to bring it back and to send it to FAM to see whether it is equivalent to their license. Yeah, this is a coaching license. So this is not a coaching license, but what I can stress here is we talk about in the development module, we talk about grassroots and youth development. What do we do? As managers, what should you know? What you need to know about grassroots and youth? What you need to know about women's football, women's development? What you need to know about coach education? We tell you. You will do the module. Yeah? And the number of hours that players need to be exposed to. For example, in grassroots and youth, there is a saying that goes, players, in order to learn the full specs and become a professional player, should spend about 10,000 hours of coaching or 10 years of coaching. So that is a concept which you will learn here in detail. So with all these 6 modules, which is done in 6 months, we include emotional intelligence. Now remember, a good manager, a good coach, a good athlete will only be emotionally stable if he has the basics right. If you are a manager, if you are a CEO of a club and you're sitting behind that chair, on the chair, and at the back of your chair is the title CEO or general manager or general secretary, your EQ, the emotional quotient, will only take place smoothly if you have the necessary qualifications. But if you are half-baked, you will not be emotionally stable because you know yourself that you are not fit to sit there. That is where we come in. That is the reason why, if you look at our chart with all the 6 courses, in the middle goes through emotional intelligence, goes through in the middle. That means the application, the empathy is there. Yeah, so that is the modules. Now, let me just brief you, tell you on the other things. The program delivery. Yeah, as I told you, it is a 6 months program, weekend classes, online. Yeah, and most importantly, the lecturers who are going to lecture in this program, both the programs, the Professional Certificate of Football Business Management and the Sports Business Management, are actually from the industry. People who were in the industry, people who are currently in the industry. We cannot take theoreticians because theoretically certain things can be done, but in real life it cannot be done, cannot be applicable. So we bring in the real people. So certain topics we bring in 2 different speakers, contrasting views. The end of the day, there is no right and there's no wrong. the end of the day, both can be applicable based on situation. So football is more situational. Yeah, what is applicable in United Kingdom may not be applicable in Malaysia. What is applicable in Malaysia may not be applicable in United Kingdom. That is the reason why a lot of foreign coaches fail here, because they think they had a success story there and they bring the whole model and put into here. We have a diversified culture. We have diversified people. Our mentality is different. The way we think is different. We have got a lot of sensitivities towards race, religion, and so on. So all this needs to be understood before we put a policy in place. This is where we come in. Yeah, we are all, most of us are Malaysians. We understand our culture and we know what we need. We know what we need for our country. Yeah, so that is the program delivery. Now, the program methodology, we have discovery learning. What is discovery learning? You will be given topics. We are not going to spoon feed you. We are not going to talk long lectures for you to just listen, take notes. No, there will be slides, but we will be giving you topics to go back and discuss, discuss in groups. Yeah, you can have your own group. You can do online discussion. You have to do research. You'll have lectures, of course. We'll present slides and so on. You will have case studies, a lot of case studies, and you will have literature reviews. This is the only course which puts through students to read a text or a book and come back and do a review of the book. Okay, so right in the beginning, when you register for the course, we will give you the title and you're supposed to go back, read it, do a review, and come back and present it. Yeah, different people will be given different text, so that there is no copying, there is no pinjamming and borrowing and that kind of thing. Yeah, so that is one. The assessment, I would like to stress on the assessment. The examination, there is an exam. 40% of your marks will go towards, of your total marks, maximum is 40% exam. We'll give you a project. For everyone has to do a project individually. That is 20. That is total is already 60. Every module has an assignment. So there is 15 marks for 15 points, 15% for that. Then there is attendance and participation. Are you quiet in class? Do you ask questions? Do you engage yourself? Because there is a lot of student engagement. So that carries 10%. And last but not least, literature review gives you 15%. Now, in order for you to pass this course, you need 70%. Yeah, 70%. And the certificate is awarded by University of Malaya. So you need not ask the question whether this course is recognized, because being the top public university in the country, a certificate issued by University of Malaya without question is recognized in any part of Malaysia. Yeah. Abroad, outside Malaysia, I wouldn't know. You got to actually check with the respective organizations. But in Malaysia, no questions asked. Okay. Now, let me just review. That's the cost. The cost of the program is ringgit Malaysia 3,950 ringgit. 3950. Yeah, 3,800 course fee and 150 registration fee. We have not hiked up the course fee because of the pandemic, because other courses are going for 5,000, 5,500, but we have maintained the same amount for this course because we do not want to burden. Our idea is to educate. So that is the whole thing about this course. Now, just allow me to just brief a little bit in Bahasa. Salam sejahtera saudara-saudari ya. Bola sepak ataupun sukan secara am merupakan satu perkara yang kita sangat sayangi. Ya, kita berkecimpung dalam sukan di Malaysia kerana beberapa sebab. Satu, kerana melepaskan geram dekat padang, kerana masalah kesihatan. Kita nak berada dalam keadaan kesihatan yang baik. Kadang-kadang ia lebih rekreasi. Tetapi kita kena faham bahawa sukan di seluruh dunia, kalau kita nak lihat pada tahun 2019 sebelum masalah pandemik COVID-19 ni, di Amerika Utara ia telah mencecah 79 bilion dolar Amerika, dan ini adalah GDP beberapa buah negara kecil seperti Sri Lanka, Mauritius, ya. Jadi dia sukan ini memang kalau dibuat dengan cara yang betul, kalau kita lihat dari sudut bisnes, memang besar. Malangnya di Asia Tenggara, terutama di Malaysia, kita masih lagi belum melihat dari sudut itu. Walaupun ada ura-ura sana sini, tetapi ruangnya masih terbuka luas untuk kita berkecimpung dalam sukan bisnes, sukan ya. Dan saya khaskan kepada sukan bola sepak. So program pengurusan bisnes bola sepak di Universiti Malaya ini adalah program 6 bulan. Ya, ini adalah untuk semua peminat-peminat bola sepak. Pertama kita kena ada minat. Ya, kalau ada minat, kita tukarkan minat ini untuk sebagai kerjaya. Dan dalam kerjaya lain, kita perlukan kelayakan macam nak jadi fisioterapis, nak jadi doktor, nak jadi peguam, nak jadi apa-apa ni semua, kita kena adakan kelulusan. Tetapi untuk sukan di Malaysia, ya, saya tak bincang pasal luar Malaysia. Di Malaysia, kalau kita lihat pada satu ketika dulu di UK, bekas mantan-mantan pemain bola sepak terkemuka menjadi jurulatih. Tetapi tetap mereka lihat dan menyedari bahawa itu adalah satu kegagalan, dan tempoh masa yang lalu mereka telah ubah. Kalau kita lihat pada masa kini, pemain-pemain seperti Ruth Gullit dan sebagainya pergi menghadiri kursus-kursus kejurulatihan untuk menjadi jurulatih. Jadi mereka telah lari daripada perkara biasa yang mereka buat, iaitu mantan pemain boleh jadi pengurus. Tidak. Itu anggapan yang salah. Dalam erti kata yang pada kita di sini, bahawa bukan semua orang yang pernah bersukan boleh menjadi pentadbir sukan. Untuk mentadbir sukan, untuk mentadbir bola sepak dengan baik, kita perlu mempelajari perkara-perkara yang termaktub dalam arena bola sepak itu sendiri. Seperti kita ada untuk program kami ini, kita ada 6 modul. Modul pertama, football governance, ialah pengurusan bola sepak. Ada banyak perkara dalam. Ya, ramai pengurus-pengurus tidak tahu akta-akta ataupun statut-statut yang ada di FIFA. Ya, berapa tahun seorang pemain yang berumur 18 tahun ke bawah, berapa tahun dia boleh sign kontrak? Ya, berapa tahun dia boleh sign kontrak? Maksima berapa? Okey, antara umur berapa ke berapa dia kena ada ibu bapa dia bersama dia untuk menandatangan kontrak. Ini semua ni harus kita tahu. Kalau pemain itu bermain dalam 4-5 klub, dan apabila dia menandatangan kontrak dengan sebuah klub yang besar, klub profesional, maksudnya kontrak profesional yang pertama, kita kena beri pampasan kepada klub-klub yang telah membantu dalam pembentukan pemain itu. Itu kita kena tahu. Berapa orang yang tahu? Bagaimana perkiraan dia? Ini adalah contoh, ini adalah salah satu contoh, ada banyak lagi. Ya, so kita menyelami semua ni dalam program ni. Kita melihat sistem ekosistem bola sepak ini secara mendalam. Kita melihat real estate bola sepak. Ya, kita melihat dari segi pembangunan bola sepak. Kita melihat dari segi pemasaran bola sepak. Semua dalam program ini. Ya, saya dah terangkan dalam bahasa Inggeris. Ini hanya mukadimah untuk rakyat jelata, untuk sahabat handai, sahabat di luar sana. Untuk ini adalah peluang anda untuk mendapatkan satu kelulusan bola sepak, satu permainan yang anda sayangi. Ya, so selepas ini anda akan mendapati di bawah ada nombor telefon. Pengambilan berikut adalah pada tahun bulan Januari 2022. Ya, so jangan terlepas peluang ini kerana ramai di sana sudah bermula. Ya, ini adalah peluang anda. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I will not take much of your time. Wish you all the best. We would have our number at the bottom. Call us, WhatsApp, that's the best. And any of your queries, please put forward and we will answer all your questions. With that, I wish you all the best. For football to develop in this country, we should have many football qualified people out there doing their job, so that 10 to 20 years from now, Malaysia can come back as the superpower of Asia, as what once we were, where Japan and Korea were afraid of us. Now nobody seems to be bothered about Malaysia. I think things have to change. Like I always say, time has come for change. Let's do it together. Bye.